sit it on. Going Ike. Every time I'm rolling up into my spot, I get so hyped up. I think I'm going Ike. I got one goal, and that's gold. If we ain't into fish, then we're hitting the road. I live the life of a fisherman, it never gets old. So welcome to the show. Come on, yo, we're going Ike.
One of the primary things that I do in this show is I want to target new fish. And you know, the interesting thing about carp fishing is that for a lot of people, they consider the carp a lowly fish. Easy to catch, common, more of a trash fish. But for me, the carp is a prized possession. I'm a bass guy. Most of the carp I've caught in the last 20 years have come by accident.
Oh, it's a carp, it's a carp. This is going with me, the Carp Master Classic. Stay down, stay down, stay down. This is the Carp Master Classic if I can land this one. Oh, I got that sucker! No, Adrian! We did it!
Fishing form, sport fishing form is totally new, especially after the last few seasons of Going Ike. Getting to travel to places like Italy and Japan and seeing how big of a prized catch this species is, it's really a shock that here in the States, the carp seems like it's low on the totem pole.
My name is Taylor Stewart. I'm from Bar Harbor, Maine. I'm currently an attorney, and on the side I like to do a little bit of fishing. Where I'm from, we don't have carp. What really, kind of got me into this sport was just that, the ability to catch something off the bank in an urban area that I didn't know was something, that I could go down to Walmart or the grocery store and pick up was something that was really special and really got me into this sport.
But he kept telling me about these amazing carp fishing opportunities right here in Philadelphia. The place that these guys fish and they catch them is really a special place. It's a stretch of river on a place called the Schuylkill River. And the Schuylkill River is one of the main tributaries running through Philadelphia, dumping into the Delaware River. And for me, it's a little bit of a homecoming to come back and fish on the Schuylkill. One of the first places I fished as a kid.
We need next quarter so we can bonus to everyone.
Yeah? Stop working right now! Look outside. Is this spreadsheet weather? No, it's not.
This is fishing weather, so stop clicking, get out there, and catch a bass.
Stop what you're doing and start fishing Rapala ripstop.
So the place that we're going in the carp community here in Philadelphia is really a famous place, and it's called the Real Peel.
I want to welcome you guys to Real Peel River, man. When you come down here, you will get your real peel. You know what I mean? We heard Ike was coming down, so I came out straight after work, so I worked all night, came out straight after work to pay my respects. My PBs, caught personal best. My heaviest fish I've caught here personally myself was 34 pounds and 13 ounces. This spot where you see me fishing at now, we call it the hit zone, and I got a lot of confidence in this spot right here. Hopefully it brings me some luck today. You never know what to expect out here at Schuylkill River. You never know what's going to happen. These rods can go off at any time, and that's the beautiful thing about carping, man.
You know, one of the things these carp anglers do is they create mini communities right on the river. So, you know, I want to be part of this community. I want to be part of this process. So I've got my Flambeau backpack. I've got another backpack with me. I've got a cooler. I've got a chair. I've got some food. I've got 4 rods. I've got a blanket. Before it's all said and done, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get all this down to the spot. And I'm kind of wobbling down, carrying this stuff. And finally I make it to the spot, and it's a really cool area on a straightaway of the Schuylkill. And as I walk up, I see this little mini community that has been created. And it's pop-up tents, it's blankets, it's fold-out chairs. It's this amazing little community set right up on the banks of the Schuylkill.
Right now, I'm an avid carp angler. That's all I do is carp fishing. European style carp fishing, using all the tactics from Euro and all the gear from the European style. Carp fishing in Europe is like bass fishing in America, actually it's a little bit bigger. I'm also a member of the Carp Anglers Group, the American Carp Anglers Group, which is a carp angling group based in North America, and we promote carp angling as a sport. We're trying to get them recognized as sport fish because they are such a great fish to catch, and that's what we do as far as the Carp Angling Group goes.
And one of the first things that I'm intrigued by are the setups, the rod, the reel, the rod holders, and specifically the hooks, weights, and the baits that they're using to catch these carp.
Throw some more pellet in there.
3 to 1.
3 parts oats.
Yeah.
1 part grits. Get some of that in there so there's something kind of for them to pick at. You know, some people spray that Bang garlic spray. Some people use the Yum F2 Ferocity spray.
Just mush it all together?
Yeah, that's a pretty good consistency.
Not bad.
Set that in there and place it in there and then wrap it around.
Like, hey, how you doing? It's good to meet you. I'm Mike.
And these balls of feed actually help draw these carp in from a long ways.
Look at that thing. It's like a swim bait.
That is garlic. That
Oh,
smells
God.
amazing. That smells amazing.
I don't know if amazing to it.
It's not
I knew coming into this shoot that carp fishing can be a slow process. Unfortunately, we're here at a time of the year when the carp fishing really slows down. The carp fishing is at its best in the heat of the summer. June, July, and August. These guys are coming out and they're sometimes getting 15, 20, 30 bites in a session. But this time of the year, as that water temperature starts to get down into the 50s and then even high 40s, the number of bites goes way down. We've got our rods set out, and I mean, we're not even here, probably not even an hour yet, and we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, one of the alarms go off.
Fish got the name Myth. We always play around like, yo. I said it's not too important. Yo. Oh, yeah, good action.
That's Mike. That's Mike.
Run over there, get that going. Get over there. That's a bait runner, so you're good. They got a bait runner. That's a bait runner.
Wow. What the? Holy! Wow. You see the size of that thing? Holy crap. Oh my God! Oh my God! Look at that thing! Look at the bubbles! Look at the bubbles! Oh my God! What? That's small?
Back around some
Oh my God, look at that thing.
Upper team.
Is that all that is?
Upper team, close to 20 maybe.
Oh my
The
God.
average out here.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but it's a beautiful thing. That power you feel.
I'm gaining on this fish, and I think I've got him licked. Every time I think I've got him licked, zzz, he peels off more line. So it's this constant battle, back and forth battle with this carp.
Look at that power, man. Look at that power. Look at that. Oh, please, stay on there. Stay on there. Oh my God. I cannot believe this. Look at that thing.
16, 17.
Oh.
You know, this fight to me is lasting forever. It feels like an hour for me, but it's probably about 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes that go past. And the funny thing is, as I'm looking around, all these other guys, Mark the Shark, Grandmaster Ron, Carpadelphia Mike, and Taylor, they're kind of like, yeah, that's a good one. And I'm like, what? I'm like freaking out. My heart is pounding. And the next thing I realize is that, okay, I've got this giant carp on. Wait a minute. I'm on top of a seawall, and this fish is like 12 to 15 feet down. How are we gonna get this thing up to the top? And as I'm fighting it, they come over with this really cool netting system that they use on this seawall, and it's called a hoop net. And basically the hoop net is a big round net, really wide, really deep, and they hook it onto a carabiner with a rope, and they're basically gonna let it go down this wall. And as that net gets down, it flattens out below the surface. And so now it's my job to kind of direct this beast of a carp into this hoop net, and as soon as he's in, zoom, they pull out, and we've got that fish.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh, yeah, that might be about 19. Oh, yeah.
Did that just happen?
That was great. You the man, dude. You the
My
man.
God.
It's a pleasure and an
Are
honor.
you can believe? Oh my God! My God!
Dude, it was an incredible feeling for me
Did that just happen?
to catch one this early in the shoot.
Oh, that's a good
Look at that thing.
Good fish, man. Congratulations. Welcome to Schuylkill River.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
That means you just got your real pill. That's me. All right, this fish came in on artificial corn, artificial sweet corn, single piece popped up.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at the shake. Oh no, did that just happen?
You ain't seen nothing
Did that
yet.
just
This is the
happen?
rig. You ain't seen nothing yet. That's all it took to bring that big fish in. Single piece of corn
See, look at
popped
that.
up.
The bait is below the hook.
Yeah.
It's not actually attached
It's
to the
actually
hook.
on a hair. It's a piece of line attached to the back of the hook. So it's actually not on the hook at all. And that'll float in the water. Where that split shot is, it'll sit up in the water about that high. Just kind of dangling around, just waiting for somebody to come along, and bam! You end up with something like that.
It's giant. I mean, this isn't the kind of fish that you can hold with one hand. This is a giant. But now, this next stage of carp fishing, which I didn't know about, takes place. And that is basically, after you land it, you know, we're really, really, really gonna take care of this fish. And they have systems and methods in place to take care of this beautiful fish, to make sure it's not hurt, and it's gonna go back in the water and get released. So they transfer that fish from the hoop net to a thing called a sling. And the sling is basically kind of like a sling that you'd use if someone was injured. And the fish slips into the sling, and we bring it over to a station they have set up where we can water it down, get some pictures of this fish, hold this beautiful thing, and then also weigh the fish.
You'll get way weight on him. Any guesses? Any guesses on the weight?
I'm going 20.
20? All right. Might be a 20. Looks pretty close. Got a nice length on him. Got a fat belly.
I give you 18.6.
I'm going to say...
That just happened?
Hey, man.
Did that just happen?
That's just the beginning, hopefully. Hopefully we get some of the big girls. That's an average one.
You're kidding me.
No, that's average. That's average.
Come on.
What you got?
18.
Read it.
18, 12.
18, 14. Almost
18,
19.
14. Yeah. Read it.
Good catch, brother.
First carp, 19 pounder. Yeah! Wow,
let's get him back to the water.
And now I get to release this beautiful fish. Put more water on this fish, put it in the sling, and get it down to a low spot on the seawall. And you know, it is a really great feeling to battle this fish, to fight this fish, and then to stick it in the water and let it go and see that thing ease off. You know, carp fishing, like bass fishing, like trout fishing, like snook fishing is very much about taking care of the animal, protecting the animal so these guys can catch it again and again and again. Pretty awesome feeling.
I mean, the power of these, especially these river carp. I mean, you can't find a fighting fish unless you go like find like a giant sturgeon or something. You're not going to find a better fighting freshwater fish, and they're everywhere. So you can go out and you can catch them, and you can have that fight that you just can't create any. I mean, I love a big smallmouth. They fight like nobody's business, but you put it up against a little 7-pound river carp, blow that smallie out of the water, man.
You know, after I caught that fish, not even an hour into the day, man, I'm jacked up. I'm thinking to myself, man, we're gonna smash them. I look at Taylor, Taylor's like, man, it can be on today. This could be the magic day. And then reality sets in. And reality over the course of the next 6 to 10 hours is, you ready for this? Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 0 carp bites in the next 6 to 8 hours.
We're not out here for that. We're out here just for the passion of carping, and you know, and just the sport itself.
And you know, it's very humbling for me to experience this. You know, to get a taste of this amazing fighting fish that early, and then seeing the reality of what can be a patient waiting game was very, very humbling. You know, we caught a few catfish in the mix, and they get you excited because you get that bite, the alarm goes off, and you're like, this is it, this is it. All right, go out there and tell the carp to bite. Come on, let's go. You know, just like in bass fishing, it's interesting to see these guys constantly changing the baits up. And they're changing the hook style of presentation. They're going from a hair rig to a Ronnie rig. They're changing colors of baits, going to a yellow corn, to an orange, to a pink. They're using different scents and sprays, and they're constantly changing and adapting to try to get these fish to turn on. You know, I'm still sitting and waiting. I'm dying. I'm like, come on, I have to have some action here. And I'm like getting so pumped up that I wanna get in shape, because this next carp I catch, it might be a 40 or 50 pounder. to the reel and peel a little something special. And all these guys have kind of their own systems for their bait, their kind of concoction. And for me, I created a concoction that is custom. And with the help from Vegas and Estella, I went shopping and I've created the own Ike approved custom concoction. The mix, the ball, the create the carp concoction. I was a mad scientist, and I created my own carp concoction.
So back in the lab, huh?
It's got the corn. Is it the right consistency? Maybe a little wet.
A little pumpkin
It's got
in there?
nutmeg, pumpkin,
What's the cinnamon? You got cinnamon in there?
little cinnamon, little nutmeg. Look at that. Special carp concoction.
If he catches on that, I'm gonna freak out. And we're gonna have some problems. He didn't bust it out earlier.
You know, one of the things that's cool about the carp fishing community is that between wait times, there's so much camaraderie between these guys. And you know, that's exchanging stories, sharing pictures of giant carp caught, drinking coffee, eating food, cooking. All this camaraderie. They're almost mini families that are created among these carp communities. And it's really special for me to come down to the Reel Peel and be let into the family of guys that are doing this down here. It's really, really an amazing thing. You know, one of the things that's cool as we sit and wait is to hear the stories of individual fish that have been caught multiple times over the years. You know, fish with names. And these fish become almost famous in their own right.
It's true. Caught the foolie, caught the two fan hills. I caught a ghosties. Caught some good fish out here.
And the ones that are sort of special are the genetic freaks. You know, the common carp that we get all day. You know, you pull one of those out and it's you know whatever.
And to hear names like Captain Hook, to hear names like a fish caught that was named Run DMC, the Ghost, and then the biggest one of all, which was caught here at the Reel Peel, the Myth, which was over a 40-pound miracarp caught and released here that these guys are dreaming about catching again one day. That to me is a hidden gem in this carp fishing scene, is the fact that they're catching individual fish over and over and over, and identifying these fish through markings. They take pictures of them from either side, and they can look at their phone, and 2 years later identify that, oh my God, look, it's Captain Hook, and he's gained 2 pounds, and we're gonna release that fish again to be caught again. A really cool part of the story. And I'm looking at my watch, it's like 7 o'clock at night, I'm getting hungry, it's raining, I'm getting cold, and we decide to leave. Taylor and I pack our stuff up, and we say goodnight to Ron and Mike, who are so hardcore, they're gonna spend the night.
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Glusek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests. From on the water to in the classroom, you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills. Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best. Subscribe to Bass University TV today.
Because there was only one carp catch, we're going to try again. But unfortunately, because of our schedules, we're only going to be able to get about 3 hours of carp fishing in. But we're going to wake up early, we're going to try it again the next day, and see if we can get 1 or 2 more bites.
Luckily, Ron and Carpadelphia, they had the gear and they decided to stick it out over the night, and they were able to get on a 28, a 24, and a couple other ones that really, were able to cement and show off this fishery and what it really can produce, even in this time of year under, about the worst conditions you can carp fish under. When we came out this morning, I was a little bit skeptical. I was a little bit, hesitant, but I had to go to, it's just like bass fishing, man. I went to my confidence bait. I went to my Christmas tree rig, the red, yellow, green. And for whatever reason, that's just been the deal for me. They'll be catching on something else, but my Christmas tree is always producing for me. And so I decided, you know what, I got to get one out there, threw it out there, and again, within the first hour or so of us being here.
And when he first sets the hook, I see kind of disappointment in his face. He goes, I think it's just a catfish. But then about 5 cranks in, I see the rod drew this real heavy load, and instantly Taylor and I realize that he's got a giant carp on. And
I could feel that weight, feel that power, and starting to kind of awaken and get going a little bit, and I realized it was a carp, and it was just like a gift from the gods, man. We had such a limited window to get something, and for us to be able to just capitalize on that was unbelievable. That's why we always struggle. When we say it's our last cast, it's not our last cast, because you always know that next one could be the fish of a lifetime. It could be the thing that changes a subpar day into a magical day.
Do it, T. Do it. It's a giant. Oh my God.
And that's sort of what happened. We had, the stuff overnight's great, but we couldn't capture that. So being able to get it and have it happen, at the witching hour when we needed it to happen. We could, like you said, we couldn't script it better. It was like a story, like a fairy tale, man.
Dude, that was really, for me, a testament to something that I always preach in the bass fishing world, which is never give up. A great moment, and that patience factor, that waiting factor, wait and good things will happen. It just all came together. And I saw it in Taylor's face, that cloud that was lifted, that weight that was lifted from his shoulders. And the minute that carp came over and we got that thing in the sling, it was really the high point of the trip. I really want to end it by saying that, think twice about carp fishing. You know, it's not a lowly fish on the totem pole. It's not a junk fish. It's not a trash fish. It's a really smart, super hard fighting monster fish that can be caught almost anywhere in the United States. You don't need thousands of dollars to go fish for it. Basic equipment, learning some of these European carp fishing methods, and try it. Come experience it. I gotta tell you, I'm a bass guy, but after fishing here at Real Peel, after being introduced into this carp fishing community and carp fishing family, I tell you, I'm a convert now. I'm converted. I want to officially crown myself a carp angler here in Philadelphia, and I've got a new appreciation for it, and I'll be back. For information on the product and gear used in the show, go to MikeIaconelli.com and follow me on my social feeds at Mike Iaconelli. And if you want to help grow the sport of fishing, get kids involved. Go to theikefoundation.org to figure out information on how you could help get involved in getting kids fishing.
Yep.